following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Coming up this afternoon on Live at 4, a gas explosion in a town east of Macomb kills one and injures a dozen. We have a crew on the scene with the latest information on the aftermath.
And we have new details regarding a restaurant closure in Macomb. Find out whether or not the health code violating eatery has reopened coming up.
And today was an unseasonably warm day for November with temps in the 70s, but could it be the last? Storm Team 3's JT Grider will have your weekend forecast ahead.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
Welcome to Live at 4. We begin with developing news. One man is dead and 12 people are injured after a gas explosion in Canton, Illinois last night. The explosion in downtown Canton occurred just after 4 p.m. Wednesday. The investigation into the cause of the explosion is still underway. We had a crew on the scene last night, and now News 3's Emily Manley joins us live in Canton with the latest. Emily, what can you tell us?
Danny and Bree, we are here in downtown Canton. I want to let you know we just got out of a press conference about 20 minutes ago, and the Fulton County coroner, Steve Hines, did confirm with me the man that did pass during this explosion was Arturo Silva Jr. He is 38 of Mapleton, Illinois. All we know as of right now is that 48 buildings need few repairs, 6 need repairs, and 3 are a total loss. Last night when the explosion happened right after 5 o'clock, the city knew that they had to come together. And when they came together, it wasn't just this morning, it started last night. But when the sun rose this morning, they saw how their downtown square was hurt. The city of Canton stands in for the past 24 hours. At 4:10 Wednesday afternoon, Ameren responded to reports that a contractor had hit one of their gas lines. Ameren arrived on the scene to squeeze off the gas and was making repairs when a boom heard across 20 miles.
10 blocks away from here, and I heard the explosion in my house. I thought a tree had fallen in my yard. That's how loud it was even there.
Laying on the couch watching TV. I live right around the corner. And it rocked me like somebody hit my house with a truck. I jumped up and I looked out the window to see what was going on, and there was a big puff of smoke. It looked like a mushroom cloud.
And we actually thought it was a bomb that went off.
That thunder and smoke was a gas line exploding in the downtown square of Canton. 1 Ameren worker died, 11 others were injured. Police departments and first responders from around the area rushed to the scene to find the downtown in ruins. Business owners and employees jumped into action.
And me and another older gentleman, we directed ambulances to where they needed to go and helped resuscitate the best we could, and we all just kind of stood around in shock and awe.
Hundreds stood in shock after Wednesday night's explosion. Business owners and community members agree it's a blessing the explosion didn't happen earlier in the day.
I think everybody's thankful that, even though one fatality is horrible, but it could have been a lot worse. And so I think, like I said, buildings can be rebuilt, so I think we'll be good.
The downtown of Canton has many historic buildings, but members of the community have faith.
It'll be a long recovery for the next few weeks, and I know there's people out of jobs, there's a lot of other things, but I have a lot of faith in this community as far as people coming together and getting together and doing the right thing.
Now, as you can see here, we are still in the downtown square. They have just put up light fixtures for this evening. They're going to continue investigating through the night. Many officers still here, from state police to Fulton County to other counties around this area. When we were in the press conference, we were told from the mayor and the state representative of this area that they're extremely proud of this community and how much they have come together to be able to clean this all up. Lots of buildings need repairing. People were able to hear this big kaboom for over 20 miles outside of this area. Windows are boarded up here in here in downtown Canton, along with other buildings that are even 2 blocks off of the square. There's going to be another press conference tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We will bring you any updates happen overnight, even in the morning. But once again, I want to tell you the man who was killed in this explosion was Arturo Silva. He is 38 of Mapleton, Illinois. But that's it for right now. I'm in Canton. Any updates we will bring you on Facebook and Twitter. Just search News 3 WIU. Reporting in the downtown Canton Square, Emily Manley, News 3.
Now, Emily, you've been there in downtown Canton all day. Can you tell me what the mood has been like there?
Danny, I have to tell you, the neatest thing about this whole thing is their downtown square has tons of historic buildings, and a lot of it is ruined. But the community has kept the faith. They have come out here. There's tons of volunteers. They've brought food, water, anything to help anyone that is needed in this time. And they've come together, and the few people that I have talked to in this community have told me that this is not going to stop them. They are going to continue to rebuild. It's going to take months. It's not going to happen overnight, but they are going to do everything that they can to make sure that they are ready to go, especially during this holiday season coming up. But this community has great faith, and they tell me that they will rebuild with no problem.
Thank you, Emily, so much. She also spoke of the owner of Home Health Care Service on the square. This is where much of the damage occurred.
The owner said she actually closed early because outside construction was causing too much noise. Little did she know that just an hour later she left, an hour after she left, the explosion would occur.
Dawn Jacobazzi and her employees left work early on Wednesday afternoon. After hearing tons of construction work outside their home health care service building, they decided to call it a day. Although to most employees, getting off early is an enjoyment. This time, they call it a blessing.
And then one of my CNAs called me crying and said that the office was pretty much a hole in the ground. So,
just as many have said, if this would have happened any earlier in the day, it could have been much more of a disaster.
Definitely would have been a different story had anything else changed in our decision yesterday. So God was looking out for us.
Dawn grew up in the great community of Canton. She says even though this is a tragic disaster for the city, you can rebuild buildings and material goods.
Kind of shock, I think. Buildings can be rebuilt and materials can be bought and stuff. So we were just really thankful that, everybody had gotten out, nobody was in the building, and so we really spent a lot of time just, comforting each other that everybody was safe.
One thing hasn't changed in Canton, and that is the town's pride in its football team. There's still a game to be played this weekend. On Saturday, the Canton High School Little Giants football team will look to pick up the town's spirits. The Little Giants travel to Powerhouse Rochester to take on the Rockets at 6 p.m. on Saturday in the IHSA Class 4A semifinals. The winner goes to the state championship. Join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for an award-winning show, Good Morning Macomb. We'll hear from Canton Mayor Jeffrey Fritz on what's next for the city after the explosion.
Back here on campus, Murray Street is open again after it was closed because of a gas leak on WIU's campus yesterday. University Relations says the gas leak is fixed. It occurred between the University Union and Canabla yesterday. Barricades were placed between Western Avenue and Mowbray Hall, and all foot traffic was rerouted in order to ensure the safety of people. Everything is up and running again at this time. Guadalajara is now open after scoring a 63 out of 100 on their health inspection Monday. The McDonough County Health Department ordered that Guadalajara be closed for 48 hours Monday when they failed to meet health requirements. The health department reported that the ice machine was found with mold and many fruit flies were found throughout the facility. The Mexican restaurant reopened today after being closed for 2 days.
The north half of University Drive will be set for closure starting this coming Monday. The city of Macomb will begin construction north of University Drive in order to install a new sanitary sewer. Traffic control will begin setting up Monday morning at 7 a.m. Construction is expected to be completed by next Friday. WIU Facilities Management asks people to use caution when driving during the construction.
Still to come on Live at 4, community members gathered in Chandler Park Wednesday to discuss their frustrations with the presidential election. Find out how they came together and why they're preaching peace.
And Christmas is coming to town. We'll tell you about the new additions coming to the annual Dickens on the Square Holiday Festival. And Jason Preview is here for Preview in Sports.
Thanks, Danny. Coming up, we take a look at the Western Illinois men's basketball team who took the court last night against Southeast Missouri State. The Leathernecks were looking to make it 2-0 inside of Western Hall. We got highlights of the matchup coming up, but that was inside. Let's go outside as JT Grider has a quick look at the weather. Hi, Jason. Taking a look outside at our Macomb webcam, you see those clouds are in place. And those temperatures are really nice for today, but it's not going to stay around for long. I'll let you know how long we can see these temperatures and when that cool down's coming ahead.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Demonstrations of all kinds are occurring across the country after the election of Donald Trump. Protesters have taken to the streets of their communities and have even blocked interstates to express their frustrations. Yesterday, a portion of the Macomb community spoke out, but their goal was to do it peacefully.
Drumming, speeches,
for many decades,
and coming together. Organizers said Wednesday's social justice rally was all about peace.
We can stand in solidarity in a peaceful way, not rioting and burning things.
Around 50 community members came together at Chandler Park to talk about their worries and frustrations with the Trump presidency.
We still have a fascist president-elect who has displayed nothing but contempt for minority communities, including my own LGBTQ community.
Speakers shared their experiences, some as minorities and others as allies.
I just wanted to let them know that they shouldn't be afraid, that they have friends here, they have allies here, they have people that will stand up for them, that will help them express who they are.
Rally organizer Catherine Nettleton said she was disgusted with much of what Trump said during his campaign, making it hard to accept that he is president-elect.
Just as a woman myself and as a sexual assault survivor, it's very re-victimizing to hear somebody who might run our country say things like that, and to know that he's bragged about doing things to women because he can it's just such an unsafe feeling.
Despite their fears, the rally remained hopeful.
One little protest in one little New Western town doesn't do much, but when there are thousands of protests going on across the country, it does send a message.
For News 3, I'm Megan Sanchez.
Thank you, Megan. The rally ended with a hand-holding circle and more speeches. Moving on, a popular holiday festival is returning to Macomb and could get you in the holiday spirit. Dickens on the Square will be returning for its 22nd year with classic and new additions to the holiday festival. Macomb's Downtown Development Director Kristen Terry says this year's visitors can ride the Santa Zephyr Express from Quincy to Macomb. The event will also have the popular horse-drawn trolley rides where you can see favorites like the Nutcracker and Polar Express. Dickens on the Square takes place on December 2nd and 3rd. When we come back, Storm Team 3's JT Greider will have your weekend forecast. And tell us about the cold front that's finally moving in mid-November.
Welcome back to Live at 4 on an absolutely gorgeous day here in Western Illinois. Currently here in Macomb, we have a temperature of 77 degrees, and that wind is out of the east at about 21 miles an hour as that cold front's starting to push our way. If we look at our current temperatures across the region, we have 74 in Burlington, 75 in Keokuk, and 75 also in Quincy. As we have this warm pocket of air sitting right about here on our map, and back here into the south in Springfield, we have about 78. So we have a warm pocket as that cold front that's off to our west is starting to push our way, starting to cool down some temperatures here around our region. Speaking of that cold front, here it is. It's right here. Here's this low pressure system. It's going to lift off to the northeast. And this cold front's going to start swinging through. That's going to bring us our showers and storm chances into tonight and into tomorrow. That's also going to bring us our cool down. I'll let you know how cold it'll get here in a little bit. Our Midwest Weather Tracker shows not a whole lot popping up on radar, not even anything over here into our west. As that cold front's starting to push its way, it hasn't quite started popping up on our radar just yet. Into tonight, we'll have rain chances throughout the majority of the night. As that cold front starts to approach, it's going to start putting out that rain, and we're going to see it start falling pretty rapidly in the night. Our low temperature for tonight is only supposed to get down to 56 as that cold front's still approaching. It hasn't quite started to change our temperatures yet. That wind's going to shift out of the south at 14 miles an hour. As that low approaches, it's going to start pulling the wind towards the low as it moves into the upper Iowa and to Wisconsin region. Into tomorrow, we will have thunderstorms as that cold front really starts to approach. Our temperature is supposed to be 65 degrees, and that's just because that cold front's going to be here. It's going to kind of cool off our temperatures a little bit, and then even into tomorrow night, we're supposed to get even colder. Our winds will switch out of the west-southwest at 18 miles an hour. Going into our 5-day forecast from the Storm Team 3, we have those storm chances tomorrow with that high of 65, but then those temperatures really start to drop. We're going to drop down into the mid-30s tomorrow night, but then if you look into our weekend, we have 44 and 45 for Saturday and Sunday, but under a sunny sky. So that's really going to allow our temperatures to drop throughout the night. And we're looking at a temperature Saturday night of 21 degrees.
21 degrees. Oh my goodness, that's really going to drop.
It's an unbelievable drop-off considering how great it was today. And, well, it's getting down to that football weather. It's do-or-die time, Jason, for Western Illinois football.
Do-or-die time indeed, Danny. On the other side of the break, we preview the final game of the regular season for the WIU football team. Stay tuned as we hear from head football coach Charlie Fisher as he talks about this week's matchup against the Southern Illinois Salukis in Carbondale. And the MHS girls basketball team took the court facing in Pleasant Plains inside of Washington Street Gym in the Macomb Invitational. Stick around because we have highlights of that right after the break here on Live at 4. Welcome back to Live at 4. We have an update to a story the News 3 Sports Department brought to you 2 weeks ago. Macomb High School Athletic Director Dave Bartlett says the school will give a presentation at the next Prairieland Conference meeting on November 30th with hopes of joining. Local members of the Prairieland Conference include Rushville Industry, South Fulton, and Bushnell Prairie City. Switching gears over to the Western Illinois men's basketball team who played host to Southeast Missouri State inside of Western Hall last night. The Leathernecks looking to make it back-to-back wins at home and go 2-1 on the season. Starting off in the first half, Garrett Covington attempts a three, but Dalen Ankrum puts the hammer down on the putback dunk. Western up by 5. And now Jabari Sandifer gets the dish from CJ Duff and nails the three from the elbow. Skipping to the second half, Covington gets the pull-up three, and he drains it. He finished the day with 19 points and 7 rebounds. And now check out the athleticism here by Ankrum as he gets the lay-in to go through some traffic. Ankrum tallied 10 points and 9 boards, but SEMO would answer here. Trey Kellum hits the mid-range jumper. He finished with 13 points on the evening. And now SEMO feeling it from downtown as Milos Veronis hits the step-back tray to put SEMO within 4. And now fast-forwarding less than a minute left, and it's Antonius Cleveland with the jumper in traffic, and he gets it to go. SEMO takes a 4-point lead, and now WIU trying to respond as Dalen Ankrum again gets an athletic layup to go in traffic, but that would not be enough. WIU falls in this one 74-71. Garrett Covington led the way with 19 points in 39 minutes of action. Let's stay with Western Illinois now. The WIU women's basketball team was on the road playing SEMO in a rare midday game tipping off at 11 a.m. Western drained 16-point three-pointers en route to a 100-87 win. Morgan Bloomer dropped a career-high 30 points, and Emily Clemens recorded her second double-double of the season. The Leathernecks host in-state foe Northern Illinois at 4:30 on Saturday in Western Hall. Let's stay on the hardwood here as the Macomb High girls basketball team was in action against Pleasant Plains in the Macomb Invitational. It was night 2 of the Lady Bomber Classic at the hangar. Down 7-0 early, Courtney Thorman follows her miss with a putback to get the Lady Bombers on the board in the first quarter. Now, Nicole Lester may have gotten away with a walk here, but before she dishes it to Sophie Whitford for the 3, and that one counts for MHS. To the second quarter, MHS leading 11-10, but that didn't last long thanks to a deep 2 by Laura Fegans out of the corner. Halfway through the second, now the bank is open for Whitford, and she ties the game up at 18. Time running down now in the first half. Emma Thorman forces up a runner, and it falls for the Bombers. Cardinals led by 22-21 at half. Plains beginning to pull away, though, in the fourth. Caroline Giacchino with the mid-range J. Now, in the fourth quarter, Bev Watson swipes it, and she goes coast to coast for the lay-in. Pleasant Plains runs away with this one late. So Macomb High drops this one inside of Washington Street Gym, falling to Pleasant Plains 41-29. Now to the WIU football team. The Leathernecks are heading into their final game of the regular season as they travel to take on the SIU Salukis. Head football coach Charlie Fisher knows everything is on the line this week as they hit the road.
Mentality that like you're not going to be denied, and you go relax and play championship football. Every play is it's playoff football. Everything's on the line every snap. So you got to be prepared. You got to be focused. You got to be relaxed. You got to go get the job done.
The Leathernecks take the field this Saturday, and kickoff is set for 2 p.m. That's all I got for sports. Final word is next.
Wesley Village is putting its residents in the Christmas spirit once again with the help of volunteers.
Many WIU students and organizations gathered at Wesley Village to put up and decorate over 200 Christmas trees.
Between yesterday and today, they had more volunteers than they've ever had.
Yeah, Wesley Village staff say they can't wait to see the looks on the residents' faces when they light up the trees on Monday night. Now, in years past, they've only had maybe 5 volunteers, and it's taken them multiple days. And this year, they had over 60 volunteers.
60.
60.
That's amazing.
Yes. Now, JT, what's the weather looking like for when they light up the trees?
Well, whenever they light up the trees, I can say it's going to be a sunny sky. Temperature is going to be a little chilly, so they're going to have those jackets with the low dropping down Monday night about 34 degrees. But if you look just a little bit before that, Saturday and Sunday, those temperatures are dropping back into the 20s and the mid-40s. So if you're going out to those state football playoff games, you're going to want the winter jacket.
Yes, we will.
Bundle up.
That's all for us today from the studios, but we'll have more updates on our Facebook page right after this newscast with more information on the explosion in downtown Canton.
And join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. for Good Morning Macomb. Stay up to date with us, news3wyu.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just search our handle, News3WIU. Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.